Hello. Today we're going to talk about how to create meaningful goals and keep them. This is part of the Student Success Series, Take 2 Tuesdays in 2022, presented by Holland College Libraries and the Office of Retention. Hi, I'm Emily McIsaac. I'm the Student Engagement and Instructional Librarian here at the college, and you can contact me at ermcisaac@hollandcollege.com. The goal of today's workshop is to brainstorm some attainable goals, find your why, discuss strategies to set yourself up for success to achieve those goals, and leave the workshop with some new goals and some great strategies to ensure that you fulfill them in the new year. Okay, so let's guess the percentage of people who achieve their New Year's resolutions. Do you think it's 35%, 21%, or 8%? Well, it's shocking 8% of people achieved their New Year's resolutions. And there's 4 reasons why. There's a lack of clarity, lack of commitment, lack of focus, and lack of confidence. And these 4 things are the reason why that people do not achieve their goals, because if they don't quite know what they're supposed to do or find a reason why to focus on it or really find strategies to ensure they can achieve their goal. And of course, sometimes people don't actually think they can achieve said goal even after they've said it out loud. That means they don't achieve it in the long run. Have you ever heard of SMART goals? This is a really well-known method of creating goals, starting goals, as it gives you a nice acronym of how to get going in your goals and try to achieve them. However, it doesn't actually lay out why you should achieve your goals or what goals are the most important to you. So today we're going to kind of go beyond the SMART goal method and ensure that you create goals that resonate with you as well as get you that step further. So we're going to go beyond the SMART goals today. So how do we pick the right goal for us? That's by finding your why. And that means you're digging in deep to find the true meaning of why you want to achieve that goal. So let's create an example. If you know that you like working with teens and kids in a professional work environment and you want to do that for the rest of your life, then how can you do that? Well, you want to go to Holland College and get your child and youth care diploma. Perfect. That's your goal. But you need to find a deeper reason why you want to achieve that. So maybe you want to go to school because you want to be a good role model for your siblings, your cousins, your children. So finding your why is basically finding the reasons that make you happy, and that is different for everybody. So you need to dig deep and kind of go past any sort of superficial reason, because that won't be motivating when things get hard, because goals are not easy to achieve. Let's talk about language for a minute. You need to make sure you set your goals up in a positive framework. So that means you're using positive language, because when you look at that goal every day, you want to make sure that it's uplifting and makes you feel confident and believe in yourself. So for example, if you want to save money to get your diploma, you want to set a budget for yourself. So you do not want to write a goal that says stop spending money on frivolous items. Instead, you would want it to be create a well-structured budget to ensure I can pay tuition for my diploma. And then the next thing you would do is find action items and action steps to find a reasonable way for you to do that. All of this language does make a difference in how we feel. So make sure you're talking to yourself in a positive way, and I always tell students to be nice to yourself. Okay, let's take 5 minutes, so pause the video and write out 5 goals written in a positive language type of framework, then restart this video and we can continue. Okay, so after you've done your 5 goals, now I want you to find your why, and I want you to reflect on these questions. Why is it important to achieve this goal? Is it really what you want? How does it make you feel right now? And how will you feel in the future? So, by answering those questions and taking some time to really sit with that, it will hopefully create intrinsic motivation so you can push yourself during those not so motivating times and you're feeling a bit of a slump. And if you only end up with 1 goal instead of all 5, that is completely fine, because that means you're only truly motivated to do one thing, and that's great because you can put your entire focus on that one thing. other ways to create intrinsic motivation is to actually try to find the fun in the activity. So if you're getting a little bored, that's not good because that's when you stop or lose your motivation. You don't want to do it anymore. An example of finding fun is, for me, I like to meal prep on Sundays, which can take a couple hours to do. So what I'll do is I'll watch a movie while I meal prep. And so that's a fun activity to kind of multitask, which is a great way to keep myself motivated. And then another way is to find meaning in the task. So again, you want to truly investigate the meaning as to why you want to do the goal. So if you want to get your child and youth care worker diploma and you want to motivate or be a role model for relatives or children or what have you, that's a really meaningful goal because you want to make sure that they know that they can go to school and do post-secondary and be a positive role model for them. And then, of course, visualization is actually a great tactic to increase intrinsic motivation, which is visualizing the finish line, and you're able to see what it would look like and feel like to have already achieved that goal, which can act as a driving motivation internally. Okay, so now that we've talked about what goals you want to achieve and why you want to achieve them, we need to be aware that you need to form new habits to actually achieve the goal. Only way to do that is to actually schedule it in and for it to become non-negotiable. Look at your week, find the time that works best for you. People often say get it done in the morning, so you have no excuses as to not getting it done, and then you can work on the rest of your day. But if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. It's just finding that time and then creating a trigger. So that could be setting an alarm. If you have an 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock block of time you want to work on your goal, set an alarm for 7:30 to get yourself set up, and then you can start your goal right at 8 o'clock and work until 9, such as researching jobs on PEI in the child and youth care field. Create that trigger, schedule it in, and make sure it's a non-negotiable thing that you do in that day. It takes 66 days to start a new habit and really cement it into your lifestyle. So give yourself at least 2 months to get into this habit. You only can do that by scheduling it in and creating a trigger. Habit formation is a whole topic in itself. So check out Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habits, as well as a YouTube video that Holland College Libraries created about successful habits for students. It is a great way to get a distilled version of Atomic Habits without reading the book. Okay, so now that we've gone through the things you need to do to achieve your goal, I want you to write down habits or environmental changes that will reinforce your new goal. So take about 2 minutes to do that and then return to the video. Remember that you have to stay focused on your goal. There are many different ways for you to do this, but accountability is one of those big things that keeps people going. And so that can be with an accountability group, it can be with goal journaling where you reflect on how you're doing, or maybe at the end of the month or after 2 weeks you review your goal and see how it's going. But of course, I really want you to be focused on the small wins because starting a new habit, creating a goal, and achieving it is very challenging. As we saw, only 8% of people actually do that. These 4 ways are great suggestions to create accountability for yourself and staying focused, because when you're constantly in your goal and you're constantly thinking about it, reviewing how it's going, that's a way to keep yourself motivated to achieve the goal in the long run. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. I truly believe this quote. Because you need to schedule in dedicated time to work on your goal, that does mean you need to look at your week or your next 3 days or what have you to really get a good sense of when you can slot it in. That's how you set yourself up for success, is understanding the time you have and where you can plot in that dedicated time to work on your goal. And you need to decide if it's every day, 3 times a week, twice a week, whatever it is, you need to decide and then schedule in everything else around it. Prepare your environment for success. So that means if you want to research companies that have child and youth care workers in their company, you need to have your laptop and notepad available to you. And so when you see that, you're like, okay, right, I'm going to work on that tonight. And it's already there and you don't have to go searching for it. You want to make it as easy as possible for you to do the goal you want. So don't set up barriers or obstacles for yourself, because then you're less likely to do the thing you set out to do. Invest in your goal. So again, if you want to work with children, and you want to go to Holland College, maybe you should invest some time by talking to folks at the Career Development Services Office or even the Office of Retention at Holland College. All of these people want to want to help you and you're investing some time and energy into making an appointment, going to the appointment, doing some research, all this kind of stuff is investing in your own goal. Oftentimes people suggest investing money into your goal. So that often comes with fitness goals such as buying a gym membership or what have you. That's money is always a driving force for many people. So think about how you can invest in your goal, whether it's time or money, to make sure that you can achieve your goal. And the biggest thing is progress over perfection, okay? That is because every small win counts. You're not going to be perfect as soon as you start. If you set yourself up in terms of your environment, you schedule it in, you're doing the best that you can with what you have. Remember to dig in and find the internal motivation to keep going, but you're not going to be perfect from the get-go, and try not to have that all or nothing mentality because that's what ruins the success. So if you're 1% better every day, that is amazing. James Clear has a whole chapter about the 1% theory. Check out his book, it is very helpful. Okay, there are critiques to be aware of in terms of goal setting. There's something called substitution or social reality, which is when you tell people your goal before you even started it and you get that recognition or congratulation before you've done anything. And it makes it feel like you've done something without actually even starting your goal. James Clear has a whole chapter about screw goals, create systems, because he believes that goals actually mitigate happiness because you have to reach a final destination before you're happy, whereas systems, you're continuously working on your goal by creating a system that creates a longer term process rather than hit the goal, check it off and move on, because often people will slide back because they are out of the mindset of continuing their long-term goal or continuing this lifestyle that they're trying to adopt. Of course, with psychology, there's no one size fits all because everybody's brain works different and you need to find what works for you, but it does take some trial and error and some investigation. Okay, our last activity is a 2-minute visualization. So I want you to look at your list of goals and how you're going to change your environment and maybe new habits you can form, and then close your eyes and visualize what that will look like after you achieve the goal and think about how it feels. So take 2 minutes and do that, and check out these resources because like I said, they are all fantastic and are very helpful. The third reference, Huber L., 7 Foolproof Ways to Achieve Your Goals, is actually what I use to create the majority of these slides. She is a life coach and has distilled much of the wisdom from many people into one short article, so I really recommend it. And thank you so much for watching, and get in touch with us at any time, and remember to follow us on social media. Bye!